This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling, wildin'.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Southern Colorado Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Tim Chase. 2014 is now behind us by almost a whole month. 2015 is ahead of us. What an exciting time to be in this industry. It reminds me of back in the early 2000s when it was just fun to be in this industry and business was happening and things were going on and people were moving and there was all kinds of activity. It reminds me of that, and it's really exciting to be part of it. Today what we're going to do is we're going to look back at 2014 to see really what the statistical look was, how many houses were sold, who the top agents were, days on market, a lot of exciting things like that. Now, if you're in real estate, I hope you can take this information and apply it to yourself to really inspire you to have a fantastic 2015 and really push yourself into your own personal record books. If you're a loan officer or maybe a title representative watching this, well, I hope you know what to do with this information as well, because it's very valuable. So we only have about 4 minutes to do this show, so let's jump right into it. So the first thing we want to look at is total volume. And what I mean by total volume is all of your transactions put together with the dollar amount, because keep in mind, as a real estate agent, you're paid on volume. You're not paid on the number of transactions or anything like that. So let's take a look at the most important category first. First, we're going to look at the buying side. So we're going to have Tiffany's at the top at $17 million on the buying side. It's fantastic. Then we have Jeff Johnson and Kevin Patterson in their total volume. Next, we want to look at on the listing side. On the listing side, this is mind-boggling. Kevin Hart at $42 million. Gene Wheaton at $31 million. Next, what we want to look at is the actual company. So which company had the most buyers in 2014? And that, no surprise, is RE/MAX Properties. What I find amazing is when you have the same company knocking out of the ballpark on the buyers and on the listing. So on the listing side, what we look at, we have RE/MAX Properties at, hold on to your seats here, $411 million in listings sold in 2014. Okay, now we're going to see who's really working their tails off, because this is the numbers of transactions. What that means is, regardless of averages, regardless of anything else, these people are working their tails off every single day, getting it done in 2014. Keep in mind, there are some teams on here, but there's also individuals that are doing it. Some of them have assistants, some of them are working completely solo. Let's take a look and see. Representing buyers, we have Tiffany at 79 transactions. That's pretty phenomenal. Jeff Johnson, Nathan, Jason Daniels. Now let's take a look at the listing agent. The number of transactions for Kevin Hart, 154. Brian Macker, 114. And then as you look down the list there, you'll see some people that are doing REO, some people that are doing traditional real estate. Any way you slice it or dice it, these guys are working hard to get these transactions taken care of. Okay, now we're going to look at number of transactions per company. RE/MAX Properties at 1,612 buyers last year. That is amazing. And we actually have 3 different RE/MAX companies on this list. Now let's take a look at number of transactions on the listing side. Again, you have RE/MAX Properties topping out the list at 1,657 transactions last year. These last 2 categories I find of particular interest. And here's why. These have direct impact on your business. Let me explain. The first one is days on market. If you're a listing agent and your days on market is, say, 90% faster than everyone else or faster than 90% of the other agents, that's a pretty good selling tool. And then on the company side, let's say as a company as a whole, you are selling houses, 15% faster, or however you represent that. It's a great recruiting tool. So let's take a look at days on market. First, let's take a look at the average days on market for an individual agent. Keep in mind, to be on this list, you have to have had at least 10 listings sold last year. So this truly represents the best of the best in Colorado Springs. Now, some of these have a lot more than 10, but that was the baseline in order to make it on the list. John Holland at 12. The average days on market for John is 12 days on market last year. And Teresa, Joy, Sherry, Jeremy, Isaac, these guys are truly representing the best of the best in this category. And we have wrapping out the top 10 or 11 here, we have Carrie, Rhonda, Tony Deppie. I went to high school with Tony. How you doing, Tony? Then we have Frank Shoptaw down at Weichert, a good friend of mine down there at Weichert. Now let's take a look at listing companies, days on market. Now these companies, you have to have at least 50 transactions to even be considered on this list throughout the last year of 2014. Let's look to see who sold the houses the fastest in the city. Muldoon and Associates and Equity. Those are the two fastest selling companies in the entire city. Something to brag about. That's fantastic. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed all those statistics. Now, there is one more category I want to put on here, and it's kind of important because in today's internet, media-driven industry that we're in, zip codes are a huge thing. So you might go on to Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com or all these other different websites, and you're actually buying the right to be listed on certain zip codes. In order to do that, sometimes you have to be put on a waiting list. And they like to tell you about click-through traffic and leads coming through and this, that, and the other. I want to remove all the noise, so to speak, and I want to look to see where the transactions are actually taking place in each zip code. Meaning, not where people think they're going to look, where are they actually getting down and buying and selling houses. Let's take a look at the top 10 or 15 zip codes, and if it were me and I was advertising on one of these sites, these are the zip codes that I would go after and be put on these particular waiting lists. So we have 5 or 6 zip codes, all at over 600 sales. 80906, 80923, 80920. You can take a look at these and really determine where you're going to set your marketing. And remember, these are where people are buying and selling houses more than any other zip code in our city. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this week's show. If you're a first-time viewer, I want to thank you for tuning in. If you're a long-time weekly loyal viewer, well, you're just plain awesome and we know it. So remember, you can contact me with any questions. Maybe I got some of these statistics slightly off, but I think they're pretty accurate. Let me know if I'm off on any. Also, if you have any ideas for future shows, shoot me an email, shoot me a text. I promise to respond. So really, thanks again for watching. I truly appreciate it. Have a fantastic week.
Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. 'Cause